overview of these new egg weights. They come in a bunch of different weights and a bunch of different shapes actually as well. And these things are designed based on the principle invented by the Russian Olympic amateur boxing team, which did 3 3-minute rounds with 1 minute rest in between. And the principle was the first round you would shadow box with nothing in your hand. The second round you would take a light weight. And the third round, you would have nothing in your hand again, and it would increase coordination and skill and hand speed, etc. I find that these things are amazing. If you look at the training regimen of Ryan Garcia or any top professional fighter, they're shadow boxing. First thing they do in the morning is they're shadow boxing for a half hour or so. And shadow boxing, even for 3 minutes, really is not fun unless you're learning, but these things make it extremely fun. And they're not just for hand speed. Like I said in my other video about them, they're for proprioception, they're for coordination. Some of these are really heavy and they actually, they're antithetical to hand speed. They don't make your hands fly out. They actually kind of connect them to your body more. And sometimes you want to get more body into the shot and less hand speed. You don't want your hands flailing around. Sometimes you want to get more body into the shots, especially if it's knockout power punches. I mean, if we're talking about infighting and hook punches and knockouts, the idea is that your arm is kind of fused to your body, like Mike Tyson, that the arm and the body, and even the head sometimes, are moving as one unit. So the weight of the entire body is behind that punch. You see me working this principle a lot of trying to actually get the body physically behind the hand like they do in karate. This is not the karate punch. This is the karate punch. So shout out to Coach Phil, who taught me that the one thing you actually don't want to do with these is really fast, snappy punches. Like when you knock somebody out, that was like just to do that in super slow motion. You see that? There's this little, everything comes from this like bump, this snap of the shoulder. You do not want to do that. That's the one way you're going to hurt yourself with these hand weights, with the Russian Olympic shadow boxing principle. You actually just want to throw these very slowly. You see that? It's almost like Tai Chi ruler in Kung Fu, which is this stick, the short stick that they use to actually kind of teach you how to use your whole body. Same thing, the boxing coach will sometimes have you put focus mitts under your armpits for 3 minutes and just shadow box like that. It's impossible to move the hands quickly. Why? Because they're teaching you how to get your body weight into the strikes. This is the second design that they have. This is called the run weight. I saw these in plastic, but these are the heavier tungsten version. I'm not sure what they're made of, but Joe Rogan said it. The genius of these egg weights is that they're actually made of tungsten or some sort of super heavy steel alloy. So they're actually squeezing some really heavy, dense weights into this stuff. Shout out to Tungsten Dow. And these just have a different feel. Unlike the egg weights, a substantial amount of the weight is right here. If you've ever actually shadow boxed with hand weights, what really sucks about that and makes it not enjoyable at all is that you're holding this weird kind of weight over here or over here, and you're never doing that. In a punch, it's anything but that. Your weight is here and there. So all of a sudden your muscles are controlling something over here. It's really weird, and it sounds small, but actually there's hundreds of pounds of force, thousands of pounds of force. If you think about it, your entire body weighs over 100 pounds. So just freezing that up and moving it is several hundred pounds. We're talking about snapping it ballistically. It's thousands of pounds of force going into those powerful punches. So this is not just a tool for increasing hand speed as people think. This is a tool for increasing skill. And how you shadow box is how you fight. How you train is how you fight. And these things will increase your skill. They will increase your power. was interviewing Leo Santa Cruz once, and sparring, I don't really spar anymore, but the last 2 times I sparred, I got a couple of knockouts by just using kind of just very gentle power, if you will. Leo Santa Cruz spoke about this too in an interview I did with him, and it was so incredible. He spoke about nowadays when he knocks people out, he doesn't even feel it. It's not like the first time you're like, you gotta use all your force and all your muscle. It's like, get really good like Nick Diaz. It really just happens with speed. You know, more like Muhammad Ali and less like Mike Tyson, but obviously there's a time for either approach. And I want to show you guys. Final thing in this product review, they're called Power Balls, I think. Again, Egg Weights has got to give me some sort of direction on this. I don't know what these things are, but I got them and they're pretty awesome. Like your pinkies can't even actually fit into these, so not sure what they're for, but I've literally shadow boxed with all these things. I use them first thing in the morning just to shadow box because they make shadow boxing and working out so fun. I'll just throw some music on, and most songs are about 3 minutes, and either pick up one of these or the other 2 designs. The thing that make these so weird is I'm like kind of like obsessed with Roberto Duran and fighters who can really throw good, accurate, insanely fast, powerful 4-punch straight punch combinations. And these are actually better than the other designs, I think, maybe at hand speed, because one thing this coach Phil guy was showing me, and it's weird because, you know, we have all these arguments between different martial arts styles and different fighting styles about like what knuckles you should hit with. One of the fighters I managed 15 pro fighters, Arturo Gatti actually explained to him that when he rolls a left hook and knocks people out, he does it with a pinky knuckle. And this is insane. I mean, so to think you're either going to hit with these 3 or these 2, it's like, no. I know pro boxers who sometimes hit with this one, sometimes hit with this one, sometimes hit with these 2. I mean, there's so many different punches. Lost my train of thought there momentarily. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, the point is, in lining up these super fast power punches, these guys, oh no, they're not called power balls, they're called strong balls, which is a brand new design. I'll let you guys see them. And they make really heavy ones as well. And it's not like Egg Weights where they're all the same shape and size and they kind of squeeze more weight into them. The strong balls actually get a lot bigger. And it's almost like that mortar and pestle principle for strength, and it's got a little bit of a gyroscope effect. So these actually, for those really fast straight punches, these are better than the other ones. But you know, should you plop down the $40? I would say if you can, plop down the 80 and get the set of Cardio Max, get the 4-pound set. You know, if they say 3 pounds for Egg Weights, it means 3 pounds total, 1.5 and 1.5. And if you can only afford one, I would say get the lightest ones you can, because those will be the ones that you'll use the most. These things actually become incredibly exhausting when you get the really heavy ones. And if you can't afford any at the moment, I would suggest literally just taking a set of bricks. A guy who I worked with 30 years before I worked with him was an amateur boxer, and he knocked out dozens of people because his coach literally had him do his shadow boxing routine while holding a couple of bricks. So holding weights will actually improve your skill, not just the speed of your punches, and it's something that you can do safely as long as you don't do it ballistically and do that snap that we were talking about. This is also a good exercise.